Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot. There goes the light flicking. And so I'm here to channel into the Divine Masculine Collective. We've got some really potent energies. Everything kind of just seems to be crashing down all around me. It's like I went to take a sip of my tea and actually I went to take a big gulp. I'm sitting here drinking my tea, watching everything kind of go down around me. And I took a big gulp and I was like, oh crap, that's not tea, that's coffee. So it's this feeling of like, this isn't what I asked for. And so we have Pluto at 29 degrees 59 right now in Capricorn, about to shift into Aquarius. We're still in this Aries energy with the sun, the moon, and Mercury in Aries. Jupiter in Aries. And so there's a lot of aggression. I'm actually feeling really good. I'm feeling like I'm in my element. My Mercury is in Aries, and so I feel like I've got this fire under me. Like I'm just raring to go. I feel like everything feels like it's speeding up. A lot is happening really, really fast. There's a lot manifesting very, very quickly. There's a lot coming up for clearing and purging as we close out Pluto and Capricorn. And so there's a lot coming up. We've got the North Node in Taurus right now at 5 degrees 55, which is screaming massive changes, especially with Uranus in Taurus right now at 16 degrees 21. So it's screaming like this tower energy, this like universal global tower. You can feel it. There's like this anxiety in the air. And so I channeled into the Divine Masculine energy, and I was asked to come on and share this in-depth channeling with you, and then I will pull in with some cards afterwards. So you might want to pause it, go make yourself a tea or a coffee, and get comfy. And so we're in like this well of darkness. I feel that's where many in the collective are, especially if you're kind of rebirthing your inner masculine. So I feel many of the divine masculines are in this well, like this, like falling in the well energy, in the well, in the depth of the darkness. And so we can't have this enlightening or sorry guys, we cannot have this enlightenment without the Endarkenment process, right? We cannot have one without the other. And so we have to go into the depths of the Endarkenment, the shadow self, and come out the other side enlightened, right? And that is what brings forward this quality foundation of self. A lot of deep inner understanding of who we are, our past life karma, what we came here to accomplish and step into to kind of fulfill our karmic mission, right? And so the darkening is the prerequisite of this spiritual journey to establish those new foundations for humanity, right? And that's what that Aquarian energy is all about, humanitarian work, right? And so we're in this gateway of vital information coming up when it comes to these patterns. And there's a lot of tension with the Aries energy, to say the least. I can feel it when I tap into it. And we're kind of meeting the Godhead of Christ consciousness right now. And so I feel many are kind of being taken to their knees. A lot is breaking down. A lot of ego tendencies are breaking down. There's a lot of trivial mental perceptions kind of shattering. And people are getting kind of like a taste of their karma, right? There's a lot of karma playing out. Pluto does rule death and transformation, and it also rules rebirth, right? And rising like the phoenix. And so a lot is kind of breaking down when it comes to these misguided falsehoods. Anybody that plays into inferior values or into the energy of indulgence or decadence, this is coming into our awareness, just how deeply this strips away our spiritual confidence. And so there's a lot of interference, I feel, going on in the masculine's life. It's feeling very restrictive, very chaotic. There's a lot deteriorating is kind of what it feels like, kind of crumbling when it comes to like all of these elements that he's played into. And so I do feel there's still this urge to resist. And so as the feminine kind of comes into this state of harmony, all of this kind of has to decompose in the masculine's life. And so this no communication, is really creating this profound anxiety now in the divine masculine's like emotional body is what it feels like. But in this state of like profound anxiety, I'm having a hard time talking because all of these messages keep coming in. I just feel like the masculine can't even recognize himself right now. But it's bringing forward like this profound intelligence of this forgotten wisdom, of this spiritual wisdom. And I feel like the masculine's looking at the divine feminine in this like goddess wildness energy, and he wants a taste of that, right? And he's watched the depth of the divine feminine's transformation and this long-term process while in separation. And now I feel he's feeling all of these afflicted energies that he did not want to face. And this is all because of these moon phases kind of happening right now. And so I just find it absolutely phenomenal how I had my intense spontaneous Kundalini activation back during the double full moon in Libra in 2019. And something tells me this double new moon in Aries is the culmination and the awakening portal for the divine masculines who have chosen to step into this higher awareness and this restructuring of these higher foundations moving forward. And so, give me a second. So it's in the depth of this awareness that is facilitating, I feel, this restructuring, this change of the DNA patterns. And so even though there's this resistance, the masculine is kind of having to do it anyway. And so there's a lot of frustration coming up, forcing this action or this desire, this urgency to kind of take action. And so this is kind of happening very naturally at this time. And I do feel a renewal when it comes to this obsession. I feel the masculine's deep in the obsession towards the feminine. Fine detail obsession about planning to take action and what are going to be the consequences of the action that I take. Facing all of these insecurity fears in the depths of the darkness. There's a lot of fear of failure. And this will become a self-fulfilling prophecy if the masculine can't center himself in his spiritual values, I feel. So he's really played into this superficiality for a while. Although a lot of the masculines really are very generous and nurturing, it's like they've lacked this inspirational quality. And played into this superficiality. And so there's a gift in this transformation coming forward, I feel. And so this depth is really unlimited right now. And so the depth of the taste of superficiality he played into will be the depth of the darkening that he kind of has to transmute. And so I feel like there's this extraordinary clarity coming forward. I've had so much upper pressure around my ears and like third eye headaches a lot this week. So I do feel there is a lot of downloads, and I feel the information coming forward through the third eye chakra and the clarity coming forward is like this very cold spiritual chill that is touching the masculine straight to the bone, maximizing the empowerment of this truth, of this recognition of this initiation energy. So I feel like an existential crisis to trigger this juxtaposition cross of like being taken to the cross with Christ. And it's been like this convoluted, confusing like disillusionment kind of taking place. And so a lot of inner meaning, a lot of inner understanding, I feel, and a possibility for reunion coming. And so there's all of these feelings coming up, and the masculine substituted these feelings for addictions, which led to this very long process of indecision for a long time. and overpowering the confusion. So I feel the masculine is overpowering the confusion, kind of biting through and digging himself up out of this hole, finding his spiritual strength, his spiritual will. There's a lot of like justification coming forward, like justice energy, balancing of karma. And I feel there's a lot of deliberate towers coming in, universal towers coming in. And I do feel there's Archangel Michael really working closely with many of the divine masculines, really bring forward that warning. Like, if you don't get it together, we're coming in with universal force as a last resort. We're coming in fiercely to kind of force that action. And so as the feminine kind of inherits this just divine peacefulness, this angelic aura, this is really turning into a necessary plea, I feel, from the divine for the masculine to embrace divine will and to find his inner strength and power to break apart that false, superficial foundation. So, you know, there's right action, there's might action, and so a lot of persistent interferences, I feel, are creating a lot of extreme circumstances, which is going to kind of generate this powerful reaction to take action. So a lot of severe interference, I feel, like in the 3D reality, like on the material plane. And there's like this severe regret, I feel, washing over the masculine, which is really making his ego very uncomfortable. And so it's like leveling the playing field. And so it's the energy of as above, so below. So the feminine falls first and then rises, and then we kind of got to balance it out between the spiral dance and kind of zero out the karma, balance it out and zero it out and come into that right alignment. And when the feminine comes into that right alignment, that 0 point, we have that leveled playing field. And then the condemnation flips, right? And so that's where it's at. Condemnation, confrontation to all of these external, universal, superior forces. And I do feel like it's this energy of humiliation. It is survivable, though. The feminine had to endure the humiliation first. And we had to go into some very severe karmic reactions from the universe to balance out our debt and our interference of our past lessons and stuff. And so so now it's the breaking down of the masculine ego, the masculine's ego. And I do feel some type of humiliation or exposure of some type of drug abuse or alcohol abuse. And maybe this will lead to a job loss, but it is leading to the breaking down of the ego. And so the masculine really has protected the ego, and I feel is going into this total withdrawal to weigh out his options right now, which I feel are futile. I feel like they're far and few between. There really isn't a lot of options. And so it's this careful re-evaluation, because there's all of these opposing forces. And so trying to establish power over the masculine. And so I feel like he's facing a lot of opponents. And I think he really misjudged the karmic's power over him, which really led him down the pathway of allowing the ego to guide him rather than his intuition. And so he's needing to kind of be in a state of impartiality, right? And the impartiality, though, is like a state of like heaviness, though it is very dense and heaviness as you sit there and weigh out these options, these very heavy options, because I don't think either direction is really looking very tasteful or pleasant or pleasing for the masculine. And so everything is kind of being eliminated, powerfully eliminated right now. Purified is what I'm feeling, and it is the energy of cause and effect. Cause and effect. And so I do feel there's a lot of chaos surrounding the masculine, but chaos is what is needed for this portal of development. And so this ineffective action, this lack of action has led to all of this chaos, all of this disorder now, and it's the energy of war surrounding the masculine is what I feel with all of this increasing disorder. And he feels like the odds are against him and it's feeling hopeless. And so all of this outer order is because of the inner chaos in his world from the lack of acknowledgement of this truth. And so whenever there's material chaos or 3D chaos, that is a call to withdrawal and understand what internal chaos is going on between your head and your heart and your ego, right? And so to find your right power and strength to create that order internally is the gateway of development. And so we're in this period of transition and change. And so we're at that baby point, the 0 point of the first Aries new moon. And so the masculines are in this portal of restructuring. They're going to progress. They're going to grow up from that baby, and they're going to become full grown after this transition and this change come the second Aries full moon. And so everything kind of has to fall away before the next Aries new moon. And so the masculine is in a state of enduring, I feel, which is part of the energy of Christ consciousness. And so it's disillusion of the ego, dissolving these old foundations, these old paradigms. And he's definitely paying a high price here when it comes to all of what he's withheld. So massive transformation. The pressure's on, and new forms don't build unless we're under pressure. And so I feel releasing the foundation of the old completely. And so a lot of the masculines are kind of being kicked when they're down. There's a lot of people criticizing them, and so they're choosing to withdraw, I feel, to understand this experience in its entirety. And he's finding it difficult to come forward and maybe approach something new with the feminine for fear of criticism, because he's still kind of attached to the old. And so I do feel he's trying to figure out how to work with what he has. He does see the feminine's success is just bringing forward more and more success. And so there's a lot of haste there, I feel, towards the feminine, creating an impatience, I feel. And so this unconscious provoking of the ego is creating all of this conflict, right? And he's feeling threatened, I feel, at this time, feeling like maybe the feminine is out of reach. So a big lesson, I feel, as we shift into Aquarius, Pluto goes into Aquarius, is staying true to yourself. That's a big part of the journey. It really is about coming home to self and aligning to your truth and being persistent in that truth of your individuality, no matter how complex and awkward you think you are, in your purest essence. And so I feel that's really what's ensured the feminine security, is this uncanny ability to maintain this strength, to just embrace all of her complexities and put them out there. And so I think the first time around for the counterparts was a very confused new beginning. It was very difficult because it was something new that neither of us experienced before, and it was a very embarrassing and awkward breakup. Usually that's how it works, because we're triggered out of our normal emotional reactions, and the reactions that the twin brings forward are really detrimental to our heart and our head. And so that first round was really created out of a very awkward situation. And so I feel right now we're just trying to understand the total psychic recognition of how this all played out, 3D, 5D, blending it together, developing along it. And this is why many of the twins, I feel, we go through these extended periods of isolation in order for us to maintain our true direction on our path too. Because when we blend with too many outside influences and outside pressure, we do get led astray, and we do go playing into all of these power and control games. And although it seems like we have support, we're basically receiving opposed support from like frenemies. And so I feel this new energy kind of just coming forward is what I feel. And so we're kind of phasing out the old and phasing in the new is what I feel. And so we're at the completion stage of the cycle right now. And so even if we haven't fully attracted the counterpart, we are at the next stage is what I feel. The energy is there to support and attract this new beginning, no matter what kind of successes or failures kind of happened in the past. And so we're in like this energy of like hidden success, hidden new beginnings. And there is still this like perverse fear that the masculine has to overcome, though, as part of this process. So there's fear of that ending. There's fear of that completion. There's pressure to hide this new beginning. Because I do feel like I was kind of taken to this energy. I was showing the Stone Maiden, and I'll grab the Arthurian Tarot. But it's like the energy of the marrying maiden from those timelines. And so it is this drive to rise up. And so that's what I heard was rise up, rise up. And so the secret relationship that the twins have shared has been this beautiful 5D telepathic connection. And I know many people will call the twin flame journey a Satanist experience, and it really isn't. It's not evil. It is not evil. It is through this secret telepathic relationship that we fuel each other's muses for this new earth influential energy that we're bringing forward. And so we've been socially misguided for a very long time, and now we are socially redirecting. And the recognition of these twin flame relationships has a massive influence when it comes to diminishing the powers of the dark, right? And so what I kept hearing was like, viewer discretion is advised. Viewer discretion is advised. So you're going to want to use your discretion. I know this is a divine masculine energy reading, but divine masculine, divine feminine, use your discretion right now with the energies. And so once this relationship is formally recognized, formally rooted in that wisdom, and once the divine masculine can fully recognize how to restrain himself from the temptation of the temptress or whatever it is that's taken advantage of him from a past life interaction, then I feel we've got movement forward. So I feel right now there's like the masculine, if they're still connected karmically, there's a lot of covert interaction going on in that connection. There's like a lot of secrecy in that connection. And I feel like there's a lot of insistence by the karmic creating a lot of frustration. And so I feel there's a lot of energy blocks in that connection, fueling the power of attraction to the feminine to overcome these obstacles. And so I feel the feminine's in the most mystical of positions right now. I feel she's at a 0 point. So it's like, pardon me, guys. So I feel like the feminine's at a point in a very mystical position where she's neither like exalted or in the detriment. With Venus and Taurus too, we're kind of at that 0 point. We're kind of like in our truth and in this oneness of like 0 point. And so, you know, where there is no end and there is no beginning, where everything is kind of possible. And so it is the energy of like the alpha and the omega, or art and aura is how I used to call it. And so as the feminine is rooted in this neither nor energy, this is fueling the divine masculine's transformation to embrace his purest level, to match that zero polarity with the feminine, where there is no end and there is no beginning. And so the potential is there. There is absolutely no guarantee. I do want to say that. And so it's all in how we perceive these energy effects and what we choose to do with this. But the energy is there to reach this zero polarity, to embrace our natural spiritual authority, and to actualize our spiritual body, and to embrace that power of position, to come from a place of a genuinity, right? And that's what's going to bring forward these fruitful relationships, where people stop taking advantage of us, right? And so as long as we're in service to the divine, we really have no say or no no reason to demand anything. And so we have to harness our energy to actualize everything we want to manifest. And so the energies are fueling these fruitful divine relationship at this time. But we have to release the other relationships that are not serving this higher union. And so the current energy, I feel, is very expansive in nature. The masculine, I feel, is ingrained in his brain that it's time to accept responsibility. He wants to embrace his personal identity and rebuild some type of security with the feminine, but he has to release these restricting relationships that are not beneficial, that have hindered his ambitions, or he's going to waste this energy, right? And so I feel as we shift from Pluto into Aquarius, what I feel is the energy is currently providing humanity, the collective, with this fuel and this ambition to transform, because we're stepping back into tribal directions where multiple tribes will kind of work together. And it makes me think of the Disney movie Raya and the Last Dragon and Kumandra, where they all come back together. And so only once the twins have mastered what was hidden and reached their highest spiritual aspirations, I feel, can we fully live through these spiritual ideals that we've been asked to bring into fulfillment for these new earth timelines. And so where's your inner drive to rise up is what I want to ask you all. Where's the inner drive to rise up for this transformation? Because I see it all around. I see things crumbling. My inbox has been blowing up. I put that special on readings, and let me tell you, I'm all booked up into the end of next week. So if you still want to book in with me, you've never booked before, or you just want to rebook, you want a fresh read on what's going on, now's the perfect time, because things are quickly progressing during this portal. And that's why I put the special on, because we're in this energy portal of completion and getting back on equal terms. But you might need that extra drive. You might need that extra direction. So look to somebody that you do resonate if you are looking for that direction that can channel the energies honestly and openly for you. But I think we're heading towards something of lasting value is what I feel in this next cycle. And so you might feel like you just don't have any direction right now, and it might feel like you're just kind of blind with no understanding of which way to turn, and that's okay. So let's pull in with some cards. I just feel like the whole day has gotten away with me, and it's like almost going to be time to go to the school soon and get the girls. So I pulled a couple different decks. I grabbed the Crystal Medicine deck up off the shelf because I do feel there might be some important messages in here for us today. I did grab the Wisdom of Avalon deck because of the Arthurian timeline coming up for me. And I will grab the Arthurian Tarot, and we'll pull some energies from this deck as well. I didn't really get prepared. I wasn't prepared on doing a Divine Masculine reading today at all, but some messages came through, and when the calling calls you, you really don't have a choice. Well, at least I know I don't have much of a choice, but what do we got? We got the Two of Swords reversed on the bottom of this deck, so that's indicating blocks being removed. What do we got here? Freedom. I love it. That's that Aquarian energy, freedom, right? That's what Aquarius represents, freedom, liberation. And then we get trust. So interesting. Ooh, and then we get another eagle. So two energies of the eagle, and yeah, there's disruption, all right. This is karmic omens playing out is what I feel. And with Mercury and Aries, the downloads are like, they're coming in really, 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 really fast. And so trust. This is about our integrity, our connection to the angelic realm. So I do feel the masculine is tapped into the higher realms at this point in time. Receiving that higher vantage point, going through an initiation. And so intentions, I feel, to retreat, to face these challenges, and there's a lot of ancestor healing rooted in Mother Mary. I feel a lot of the masculines have connected with Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene. I know in my initial awakening, it was the energy of being taken to Christ. And so on the flip scale, maybe they're with Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene at this time. But blocks removed, and there's that high priestess. There's that deep intuitive knowing. It's the energy of opening up the Akashic scrolls. I see into me. I know, right? So let's start. Kitty, you were all over somewhere else, and now she's back again. So trust, this is where we're at. There is a coming to Jesus moment. I feel this is about forgiveness of self. I feel the masculine. He didn't know. He didn't know. He was under the veil of illusion, and now he knows. And so trust that the masculine is reaching a place of forgiveness for this unconditional love. And he's got a ways to go to get back on track. He's got to rise, right? He's taken things step by step. So I do feel there's a deep heaviness, a deep heart purging going on for many of the masculines right now. And there's that Lady of the Lake again, right? And that is the Divine Feminine's energy, the High Priestess. And so this really does boil down to absolute spiritual truth. The feminine is sitting in a place of self-respect, and she's taking responsibility for her spiritual journey. And now the masculine needs to find that courage to trust in love again, right? So let's get a few of these cards right out the gate. Kitty, you're going to drive me. There's the deer. So he hasn't quite risen into the stag yet. He's not a stag yet. But, Kitty, there's like a level of diplomacy washing over the masculine, a gentleness, an awareness, a need for protection, because I do think the energy is very vulnerable at this time. We get the cow and the frog. And so, ooh, Kitty, see, I'm telling you, things are not stable. Things are on shaky grounds right now. Anything could crash down at any moment. Kitty, she is something else lately, you know. I remember Kitty was just like a baby when I got with my counterpart. So anyway, all right, the cow. It's time for somebody to move on out of the way, is also what I think. So this is about abundance. This is about asking and receiving, equal giving and receiving. And I do feel the masculine's cleaning house. He's releasing all of this emotional baggage, which is a huge heart chakra purge. And this is shifting his perception about what a partnership is. And look at, there you go on the other side. So we're at the baby stages, the first Aries new moon. And at that second Aries new moon, we got a stag. So give your masculine time to shift his perception about partnership, about divine union. He is in a massive clearing. There is abundance on the other side. And so this is you, Divine Feminine. Hold your focus. Just be beautiful. Just be that beautiful butterfly. Spread your wings and stay rooted in that truth. Work on your physical health. Stay grounded in your foundation of self as the masculine works through forgiveness, because he's got a lot of underlying anger. He's got underlying jealousy, vengeance, and rage as he faces these restrictions of this very deceptive person that he's been stuck with. So he's gaining some wisdom. And so you got to remain focused, Divine Feminine. So freedom, and the power of intention. So let's see what else needs to come through. The power of intention landed right on your side of the stacks that I feel is your energy. Rejuvenation. So you are just being asked to rejuvenate. You've already embraced your inner shaman, Divine Feminine. So that power of attention, you've got a golden opportunity here. Stay focused. Go within, rejuvenate, replenish. Don't, overgive your energy. But I do feel like you've got everything you need working out for you. So you've got the power. You've got the power. So we'll see what comes through for the masculine. Look at that Divine Masculine. Yeah, so we'll see what comes through for the Divine Masculine. We got the Divine Masculine. We'll take it. So look at that teacher. And that's what we're here to do, right? Sacred healing. And that's where the masculine is at, in a very sacred healing portal right now. Divine Masculine. let's read into the divine masculine energy in the book. Let's hope I can find it quickly. I wish I had my glasses down here and I don't. Okay, so this is a sign that the divine masculine collective is requiring immediate attention. Warning, warning. And whether you are male or female, we all still have aspects of masculine energy within us. I just want to say that. And we can connect with our own inner masculine. And I do feel that's what the feminine is being asked to do right now, to connect with your inner masculine energy at this time and your higher self masculine. But this is a dynamic portal of the energy requiring action and doing. So logic, direction, strength, stability, confidence, these are all things coming up as part of this sacred healing. I do feel the masculine has been all over the place emotionally, and he needs stability and grounding right now. It's time for him to get grounded. So I do feel this is a good time for you to connect with your masculine in the astral realms. Because he is becoming acutely aware of this energy within you and within him, and he is setting intentions to come into the forefront. So it is time to take action on things in his life that he's been putting off, where he has dishonored his masculine. He knows he has something he has to do here, and so he's pulling himself out of the darkening, the Endarkenment process and this old way of being, and he is being pulled back into the light as the feminine, I feel, creates her heart's desires. And that's kind of what I see going on there. So I do feel blocks are being removed, and he does see you as a wise healer, as a wise teacher. Look at that divine feminine below the teacher energy, and he's been a lone wolf for a while. He might be in a relationship, but he's never ever fully given his heart to anybody. And that's what terrifies him, is you have his heart. He knows that you have the map. And so your creative genius is bringing forward this soul awakening and these challenges in the masculine's life. And he's gaining a lot of inner wisdom. And so he does look at you as a wise teacher. And I do feel the two of you will come together and do your mission work together in a creative aspect. So think like he's right in the fire of the rebirth is what it feels like right now in this portal. So blocks removed, right? Two of Swords, blocks removed, strength reversed. He's struggling. He's losing strength. He's losing power. So yes, go connect with your masculine. And maybe just hold that space, hold that light, right? So let's see what we got going on with the twins with this amazing energy shift. Like, I have not felt this good in months. It's amazing. All right. What do we got going on with the twins? What is this current situation? We get the Grail 7, clarity, disillusionment, coming out of disillusionment, coming out of confusion. Oh my God. Well, we're going to just, yeah, and there it is. So truths revealed, truths unveiled, the veil of illusion, done. And then we get King Arthur sitting on that throne. We got a King Arthur about to rise as a divine masculine. And then we get the Stone 3. And so I do feel coming out of that illusion, that false contract. The 3 of Pentacles is like working well with somebody. Look at, he's like, no, I'm out of here. It really did deplete him, that contract. And so there's no more confusion. There's been a revelation. And I feel there's movement forward. There's movement forward straight towards wish fulfillment. We get the Spear Knight going straight towards the Spear Queen. And so I do feel it is juvenile action still. It is rushed action still, but headed straight towards wish fulfillment. And I do feel, though, this Spear Queen, she's got a little bit of blood on her arrow. So I think you might find some challenges. There might be some challenges. This might be the masculine sparring it out with the Karmic, and she's out for blood. She's out for revenge. Yeah, with the Sword 7. As some truth kind of gets revealed, I do feel like a waterfall of emotions as this release kind of takes place. there's that spiral tower. So let's get the masculine's emotions kind of connected to these energies. Oh my gosh, the Chariot reverse, there's that emotional breakdown, an emotional tidal wave. It is all resurfacing at this time. Cancer energy. We get Aries and Pisces, and so we just closed out Pisces season, and now this is time for action, action taking. And so the Chariot reverse day, we're going to get a surprise from the universe. Well, we got the masculine coming out of hermit mode. Definitely after a long period of withholding an apology. We do get the flowering logress. So this is the world card. Surprise from the universe. Surprise, surprise. It's coming full circle. You know, very, very hard-earned life lesson, right? The masculine is just riddled with stress and anxiety, emotional, mental breakdown. But it is bringing this full circle. It is bringing a completion. And so we get the Grail Knight in reverse. That's the Knight of Cups in reverse with the Five of Swords in reverse. Or is that the... Interesting though, on the it's a 5, but you see 2 spears. So it's like, I believe it's swords. There's that emotional breakdown. That's what we don't see below the surface. We're being blocked from the purging, from the heart pain, because there would be like a 3 of swords there we're being blocked from seeing, right? And so this is where all that dirty laundry comes out, the washer and the Ford. So all of the dirty laundry coming out. And that is the death energy too. And so he's resisted this transformation, which has only persisted the intensity that I feel is kind of arising in this clearing. So the overall outcome, and that was the card that I talked about. Look at that, the overall outcome. That was the card that I mentioned before I pulled the deck. And there's the masculine's head on a silver platter. And so, yeah, and now the 2 of Swords is actually upright. So I feel this is what the feminine is protected from. Things are so icy cold where the masculine is at, and it's the energy of off with his head, but he is rising. It is creating this energy of no more confusion, and whether the 2 of Swords was upright or reversed, the path has been cleared. If you look at this 2 of Swords, the path has been cleared, or the Wands, I guess that would have been the Wands, 5 of Wands. So hidden action being taken for renewal is what I feel as well. Hidden action. So we get the Knights of the Round Table. We do get the Round Table, and so this is like a cosmic journey of knighthood, right? Pretty much. And so a lot of higher cosmic Akashic keys are being downloaded, and this is like the power of community. That's that Aquarian energy is what I'm feeling coming through. Let's get a few messages for the divine feminine. Let's get a few cards for the feminine.
To send and receive messages, first register in your Alexa app.
Okay. Let's get some messages for the divine feminine. What is the divine feminine's current situation, current energies coming through? Because not everybody's going to be exactly where I'm at. The divine feminine's current energy. Queen of Swords reversed. You're like, shoot first, attack later. Yeah, I just feel like no more bullshit, no more messing around with you. Like, you're firm in your boundaries. I feel like you're not holding back when it comes to expressing your truth. And maybe you decided to share your journey and the separation part, maybe. But I also feel if you're in a karmic cycle, divine feminine, you're choosing to remove blocks from your life as well and bring forward an ending. I also feel this energy of you might not be feeling very much connected with your counterpart at this time, or very much connected to your spirit team or the higher realms as this awakening kind of takes place. I feel there's going to be like a release. I feel you've really been withholding communication too, allowing the divine to take the lead. I feel you have been disconnected a little bit. And so blocks are about to be removed too. Something about the Libra full moon for you. And so we do got a Two of Cups there. So you're clearing whatever energies you need to clear as well right now in this portal for the union, for the reunion. So we'll get where you're, look at. So you both got the Chariot reverse. We both got Chariot reverse. So there's a lot of emotions coming up. Get prepared for a massive, massive purge. And this is where we consciously turn our pain into our power, divine feminine, the Nine of Wands reversed. You know, that was a huge, huge, huge moment for me. The lack of investment when it comes to my counterpart, the lack of acknowledgement of the connection. And that really triggered my awakening, my inner wounding to all resurface. You know, and I do feel a lot of us hold on. But the way I see it is, even if the counterparts do come back like we've been divinely promised, they're not coming back that person that they were anyway. And so this is where we need to release the thought of who we thought that they were, because they're coming back transformed. And so I do feel as the feminine comes back to life and comes out of the healing process of the inner child healing and the wounding, we become that wounded healer. We become that wounded teacher. And I feel a lot of the feminines are coming into a lot of luck and abundance, which is bringing this cycle back, like back around, right? And so, yeah, I just feel, I kind of like, this is like surprise from the universe. So I think surprise from the universe is there's going to be a confession. The masculine is going to be reaching out, and he is stressed about it. He's going to be reaching out with a confession, and maybe he lost everything in that false foundation, and how, you know, he was selfish and all he thought about was money. I do feel a lot of the masculines are going to experience some type of fall, ego death, and because they're so attached to the material world, they usually take their money or their job. There could be financial ruin here, and this feeling of, I don't even know that I have a dime in my pocket to start a clean slate, and all of this karmic debt being paid back for like the Knight of Wands behavior is what I'm feeling. And so there's that Three of Swords. So I kind of feel as the masculine comes out of this state of illusion and goes through this disillusionment, you are holding that space as he goes through this fall from grace, this darkening, this, it's like the fallen angel energy, right? The Aries reverse. So right now he's fallen, and he will likely rise that second Aries new moon. So any very heavy emotions coming up for you that might be bringing you down with your counterpart, know that you are holding that grace and that strength for your counterpart as he goes through this alchemical process in the ethers, like you had to go through healing the heart with the counterpart. And it is going to bring in this new love offer. There's like a tsunami of emotions washing over the masculine at this time. And so you're feeling this as well, divine feminine. And so right now, we're in the process of this complete and total surrender, release, and maybe it won't come full circle until the eclipse energy hits. But this complete and total release of this war programming, this power and control programming, and the masculine is definitely facing some bad karma, right? So the block's removed, the masculine's losing his mind over the fact that he can see the bad judgment call clearly, and he's lost wish fulfillment. So self-love is going to be needed, like I said, by that eclipse season. So the cycle is done. It is over. It's just a matter of completing the clearing at this point in time. So let's just get some twin flame messages, and we're going to close it off because I think I got to go get the kids from school soon. All right. Listen to yourself. Only listen to yourself and your soul's guidance at this time. We are receiving massive galactic downloads, light code activations as the masculine is presented an opportunity to make a choice. So he is trying to connect with you telepathically, and so that's why I feel a lot of us are disconnected, because I do feel the masculine has felt that moment you surrendered, released. And so he's grasping, like drowning in his subconscious mind, grasping for air is what it feels like as he goes through this deep, deep metamorphosis and transformation. So he's facing all kinds of conflict, all kinds of blocks, all kinds of tension. And so this is why you need to get grounded, because divine timing says timing is up to you as you come into balance and find your inner peace. This is bringing forward this metamorphosis. So there's a lot of divine communication going towards both counterparts. So really pay attention to the signs and the things at this time. Your intuition should be your best inner compass. Just celebrate. We are drawing near. There is a fated, imminent meeting coming. So the more you embrace that inner wholeness, the faster this can kind of play out. And that's what I got for a Divine Masculine update, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you'd like to book a personal or a soulmate reading, now's the perfect time with all of the sales that I got on. So hit me up, send me an email, send me a message on my business page on Facebook, and let's get that booked in, because we are in unprecedented times right now. We are in the Great Awakening. And if you found me on this channel, you are a part of this massive global awakening. So have a wonderful night, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.